Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and I've just died in the, what is that, the AEC, and if you listen very closely, you can hear the ghost of Ask Reddit in the background. That's what I happened to be listening to at the time I was flying out the, let me get this right, the Spitfire FR Mark 14E. Look at me. And you'll notice that I have a swanky custom camo for this one. I made a Burger King themed camo for my Spitfire so I could feel a little bit more American while playing it. And I really like how it turned out. It's one of the few camos that there's only like one thing that I hate about it, so that's pretty good. And now, speaking of that one thing I hate, here is a BF 109. I think it might be a hi baby. It might be a G or a K. I'm not sure, but I got a toddler on me now. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'll tell you what we're doing, Mommy. We're dropping our bombs so we can properly engage this BF 109. Mommy, and you can see that our 50 cals probably got a hit on his engine cooling. So he's leaking coolant. It could be fuel, actually, now that I think about it. Because we're going to get into something of a dogfight here. We've both got a little bit of a shot on each other, and now in almost a, it's definitely an energy fighting position that we're in. That was a little bit of rolling scissors and a little bit of a roll, and here again, a half scissors, and then over into a looping scissors, and we are in the midst of a real energy fight here. Our energy state just about equal. My airplane able to produce just a bit more acceleration than his, but he staying in the undermanned position, very much putting the pressure on. And you can see we've already swapped back and forth a few times between aggressor and defender. Here you see me in a low energy state, him below but not quite able to get guns on target yet. Now back around, almost in a head-on. Without even taking shots, I decide to scoot out of there as I nicely evade his guns, but he is in the aggressor position now, and I need to defensively fly. A bit of a scissors, again into a loop, and a nice roll, trading some of my speed for positioning here, and he's very close behind me. I need to keep his guns off me as we go into the stall. In the rollover, he's still climbing, and I can't quite get my guns on target. He still is retaining a great amount of engine power, which again leads me to believe this might be fuel leaking from his airplane, especially from the fact that coolant tends to fall faster. He gets a bit of a machine gun hit into my engine cowling, dealing some damage to the engine, as well as, what is that, the oil cooling? But I don't have a leak warning, so that's kind of nice. Real close to getting shredded there as I just barely stay above the majority of his burst, and now we're both at very low energy, stalling out almost here, and you see just the incredible low speed maneuverability of the Spitfire. F7F just PBY, that makes a bit more sense, completely ignoring us as is appropriate, letting us have some space to do our dogfight, and yet my BF 109 foe decides to go for the bomber, trying to get a kill, and that gives me the position I needed. I think I was going to have him eventually anyway, and that was a very good dogfight. So it felt like ages in those low speed maneuvers, but it ended up being a very satisfying dogfight, and that's something you don't see very often. It's actually one of the reasons that I really love Tank RB flying CAS and anti-CAS right now, because you don't spend 7 or 8 minutes climbing and positioning. You're thrown into the action, and you can get into those knife fight, dogfight engagements in short order. And with an aircraft like the FR Spitfire, You really do have a fun time with the aircraft. It is not your typical Spitfire. As you can see, it's the clipped wing version. And much like the clipped wing Zero, this is an aircraft that is just a lot of fun because it trades a bit of lift for roll rate, and that makes it really fun in a defensive flying engagement. Lots of fun at low altitude, and gives it just a bit of a difference from your typical aircraft that you would see with other models, that it can be a treasure, especially for somebody that likes weird and wonderful planes. And you know me, I love my golden name tags. I'll be right back. I also love my daughter. I'm going to go take care of whatever she needs, probably another bottle. Alrighty, that dogfight was a lot of fun. Are you not entertained? And now you see us defensive flying again. We have, what is that? I couldn't tell if that was a Focke-Wulf or a BF-109 on my tail. Looks like, even in the close pass, I'm going to go with BF-109. So, now he's behind us. We pop flaps. We need to trade some speed for maneuverability here, get him to overshoot. And he doesn't really seem to be focusing us the way I'd expect him to. We managed to get over the top, and now we are the aggressor. It's going to be hard for him to shake us off his tail. He doesn't seem to have the maneuverability that last BF-109 had. This could be a heavier model or a weaker engine model. We'll have to see, and we'll find out after we get the kill. Our burst there shreds off a wing, and then he just doesn't have the maneuverability to take us down. And you can look down at the bottom right to see what the heck that was. I don't have the resolution to see that from my editing software right now. So that was our second kill, and this is sort of the average when it comes to the Spitfire FR. I don't get a ton of kills in this aircraft in general. In fact, if I don't get into the sky fairly soon, I can often get swarmed by 3 or 4 enemy aircraft, so it really helps to get into this thing as early as you can if you plan on flying anti-CAS, and you do have access to a 500-pound bomb. So you can take down maybe one target, but your aim has to be pretty good. 500-pound bombs don't do a whole lot of damage in this game right now. You can hear the tank teller just having a great time. Now I'm going to bring you into a match where I don't get into the air, but I have a lot of fun in the Iron Duke. So this is an event vehicle that I picked up a while back, and I think I actually spent more on completing the event because I didn't properly understand the rules of the event, and I messed up. I didn't grind some of the things I needed to grind, so I paid for a few things. I think I could have gotten this cheaper just by waiting and buying it on the market, but my advice, if this drops below 15 bucks or at about the $15 range, I think this tank is very much worth it. But I'll leave that up to you. I know a lot of you guys don't spend a ton of money on vehicles in the game, but next time an event rolls around that you can sell things on the market, you might consider trading in some of those Gaijin bucks for the Iron Duke, especially if you're looking at grinding out the British tank tree, or if you just love, well, what is this, the Comet? I think it's the Comet. It's not the Cromwell, is it? Anyway, I think it's the Comet. Anyway. Yeah, I could be wrong. I'm not all that familiar with British tanks, but I do love the relatively beefy turret on this machine, the good engine, and the reasonably reliable cannon, which is a bit different than your typical 17-pounder. In a few ways that don't end up mattering all that much in-game. Now, one warning with this match, I don't get any kills, so prepare yourself for a match that I had a lot of fun in, where I didn't get a single kill. The main goal of this one ended up being survival and just kind of being as much of a pest as I could possibly be. So you're going to see me making use of repositioning, engaging in exclusively long-range engagements, not really doing a lot, but the fact that I survived this one was enough for me, and you will see why over the course of this video. So, engaging a tiger, and we get that magic bounce off of the driver's port, the one place where we could bounce off of the hull, and that's what we hit. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. We bounce a shot off our, again, rather sturdy turret, and this is actually in a 6.0 battle, so even in an up tier, and this is an intentional up tier, as I was really hoping to get into my 5.7 Spitfire FR, but this tank does fairly well. It still remains a valuable vehicle, almost a pseudo light tank with a beefy turret. It really is an interesting vehicle. Hey Guppy, I need my mouse. I need my mouse because I'm doing a video. Yeah, she is crashing her little train engine into my mouse. Clicking buttons randomly. You can probably hear her driving it around. Guppy, can you say train? Good job. Can you say engine? That's not engine. That's just happy toddler sounds. So, what should I talk about now? You can see we're using smoke to cover ourselves. I'm getting a bit distracted by the toddler, you might have noticed. We had a great time yesterday. I took her to the park, and we went for a walk, and she saw this neighborhood boy. He was a young man, probably about 14, 15 or so, maybe a little bit younger if he started growing early. It's kind of hard to tell. He's probably 15 or 16. Anyway, he was shooting some hoops in the park, and Guppy was watching him, just serious watching, totally giving him all of her attention, just fascinated by the ball. Ah, what are you doing? Hi, baby. Yeah, did you fall down? You fall down. You're okay. Yeah. Are you tired? You still got a rubber band in your hair. So she ended up making friends with the boy and shooting some hoops with him, and she can throw the basketball about 2 inches over her head level. So it was pretty cute to see her shooting hoops. And she got so tired that she just started doing the nothing cry, where she's like, "Wah!" And guys, if you have a girl who is upset over nothing, it could be because she's tired or hungry or both. And yep, now she's looking for Lammy. She's about ready to go take a nap. So I'm going to take another break and put down the toddler, and then we'll talk some more about this match in the Iron Duke. You can see we're using our smoke here to cover ourselves, and the shots just keep coming in. It'd be interesting to count how many times we get shot at, and a lot of these come very close to taking us down. Guppy, can you say night-night?
Night-night.
Say sleepy.
Sleepy.
Say night-night, sleepy. Say night-night.
Night-night.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm gonna go put this baby down. Well, toddler. Apologies if you're thinking, my goodness, this guy is constantly distracted. Well, guess what? I mean, I probably had the ADD before I had kids, but now this is my life. I'm in a room with 2 little ladies that would prefer to have constant supervision, so or at least to have room service available 24/7. And my toddler just lets me know she needs something by walking up to me, throwing her leg over my lap and grabbing onto my shoulders, pulling herself into my face, and then starting to make sounds like she needs something. And I've been encouraging her to use her words when it comes to telling me what she actually wants, as opposed to just getting my attention with discontented groanings and then expecting me to mind read or or figure out through pantomiming what she wants. She's getting old enough she can start using words. And then there's the 4-month-old who croaks at me. So either way, speaking of croaking, I kind of wish that I could kill more enemy tank crew with my shots, but I am using APDS, which, as you know, is sort of like throwing moist banana peels at the crew of enemy vehicles. So once again, we back into the smoke, having not really accomplished much, potentially getting ourselves a kill assist at some point if someone decides to delight theirself in eliminating that Tiger 2P and continuing to bounce shots that come in through the smoke from anything between a long 75 and a long 88. Doubting that I'm bouncing long 88s, but unclear as the smoke obscures the battlefield, as you can see. One thing of note with this tank is it does have your typical British reverse gear of "we don't plan for you to go toward the rear" speeds, and you see that our team, having captured the zone, has gotten us a mission accomplished, and we managed to survive. Sometimes surviving is all that is required. Just like with raising kids, sometimes just keeping them alive is enough. And we go back and we look at some of the highlights of taking down enemy aircraft in our Spitfire Spitfire FR Mark 14E, as it were. And I tell you that this photo recon plane, equipped with American 50 cals and Hispano 20 mils, is by far one of the most interesting and engaging aircraft I've flown recently. I definitely do not regret picking it up for 20 bucks on the market, not on the market, from the Gaijin store. During this Victory Day sale. It is a rare vehicle. It is only available for a limited time. If you've got an extra 20 bucks kicking around and you're looking to pick up what is essentially a Super Mustang at a 5.7 battle rating, it really is a lot of fun. And of course I call it a Super Mustang because it flies a lot more like a lightweight Mustang than like your typical Spitfire a la LF Mark 9 you'd see at this battle rating, or any number of Griffin Spits that don't have the clipped wings. This really is an interesting and unique aircraft. It flies well, it plays a bit differently than your typical Spitfire, and both of those things make it a lot of fun for me to fly, especially as a fan of American aircraft. I do miss the heavier loadouts you can carry on American planes, such as the Mustang, but that's okay. The trade-off is just fine. And there's something you'll see is the survivability of this plane if you take a hit to the fuel tank is 0. The fuel loves to burn, and you will burn to death. Anyway, I could say much more about this aircraft, but suffice to say that I've been enjoying it immensely. That just about does it for this video, and there are some people who are working on some things on the Discord with me that I'll be getting in touch with at some point today, and I would love to put together something along the lines of War Thunder Theater. So we'll see if we can't get a few acts together, and if you have a comedy sketch or some kind of War Thunder skit you would like to do, by all means, get in contact with me on the Discord. I'm also accepting replays, so if you want to send in your replay file, I have a video on how to do that if you would like to. And with that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.